Logical morning. Welcome to Vidhigya presents the Hindu newspaper analysis. Today's session will have following segments. First, overview of today's newspaper. Second, must-know topics and explanation. And third, quiz time with 5 important questions. Starting with the first segment. So, in this page, there is one article that is PM briefed on missile issue, reviews defense situation. So in this, we will discuss, there is one more article on the editorial page. So we'll discuss about the missile that was fired and what is the current situation and why India needs to improve its defense structure, or you can say the way the missiles are fired, inquiry is needed and why there is a demand for inquiry and what India needs to do. Second is India relocates embassy in Ukraine to Poland. So this is just factual information that India has relocated its embassy in Ukraine to Poland because of the Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now in this page, no important articles. Same in this page also, no important article. No important article here also. So this is related to Russia-Ukraine crisis, nothing, just philosophical arguments, or you can say the moral or ethical arguments are there that why India needs to take a stand and why India needs to move away from its argument that Russia is India's major defense partner, therefore India cannot take a stand. And the article says that situation has changed from post independence to in today's world, so therefore India needs to take a stand. So there is nothing that you need to remember from this article. All the relevant information we have discussed already. So this article, Unguided Missile, in this we'll discuss about the launch of India's accidental launch of India's missile by accident into the Pakistani territory. We'll discuss about that. And then in this we'll also discuss about, there is one thing mentioned, that is missile technology control regime. So we'll discuss about what is MTCR. So in this article, nothing important. Same here, no important articles. So India relocates embassy in Ukraine to Poland. So this we have discussed, that factual information you have to remember. This topic will discuss about Ukraine crisis delay AK 203 trials. Then we'll discuss about that government drug stores to sell Nutraceuticals. We'll discuss, and then this is important article at Chilika Lake. So we'll discuss about where Chilika Lake is and other information related to Chilika Lake. So you have to remember that Russia is also using phosphorus cells or using the phosphorus weapons in its attack in Ukraine. Then another important article here is the functioning of ISS after sanctions. So Western countries have imposed sanctions on Russia, and Russia is one of the major partner or major player in the functioning of International Space Station. So we'll see what are the consequences of these sanctions on Russia and what changes can be done or how the ISS can be protected. So this is all from today's newspaper. Now we'll discuss the topics. So first is unguided missile. So what happened? So the government of India has said that incident on March 9. So you have to remember when this incident happened, March 9. That is a launch of India's missile in Pakistan accidentally. So happened in the course of routine maintenance. It's because of the routine maintenance due to a technical malfunction. So India has ordered a high-level court of inquiry. However, Pakistan has alleged that the incident indicates many loopholes. So Pakistan says that India's defense infrastructure or defense structure has many loopholes, and because of which this missile has been misfired into the Pakistani territory, and there is a serious technical lapse of a serious nature in India handling its strategic weapon. So it says that there is serious loopholes in the way the India is handling its nuclear, or you can say military armaments or strategic weapons. So Islamabad, which termed the inquiry as ordered by India, is insufficient. So Pakistan said the inquiry ordered by India is insufficient and demanded a joint probe. That is, joint probe will be done by the members of Pakistan and India also, but India denied this joint probe. India said we will conduct this inquiry own. Pakistan also asked for involvement of international community, but India denied that also. So this incident phrased that reputation and measures must be taken to restore the confidence of India and international community. So since India is a nuclear weapon state, India has shown the confidence and the reliance to the world that India is a stable power, India is stable nuclear power, and India will not use its weapon malignantly, or India will not use its weapon in just randomly, or that Indian infrastructure is so weak that its missile can be fired with because of technical malfunction. However, this thing, thus this event has caused this suspicion that India needs to improve its security architecture. And also in 2018 or some 2016, in 2018, I guess, 2018 or 2020, there was a missile, that is Spider missile, that was fired, and it led to the crashing of Mi-18 helicopter in India. So these two events has highlighted that there are serious loopholes or serious technical malfunction there in India's security infrastructure. And since India is a nuclear weapon state, therefore there cannot be such loopholes, which will make India's infrastructure a weak, and that can be hijacked, or you can say in which the missile can be misfired. And suppose if it happens with a missile that is of nuclear weapon, which contains nuclear weapon, then this could lead to a big chaos around the world, because India is also nuclear weapon state, China is also nuclear weapon state, and Pakistan is also nuclear weapon state, and this will lead to a nuclear war between the countries. So that will have a serious catastrophic consequences. Therefore, India needs to look into this event, that why this happened, and need to improve its infrastructure, or you can say there should not be any incidents like that, which because of which there is a misfire of the missiles. Now, India became a member of the MTCR, that is Missile Technology Control Regime, in 2016. So first thing you have to remember, India become member of MTCR in 2016, and an acceptance by major powers of India's status as a reliable defense partner that is capable of. So by becoming the member of MTCR, the major powers across the world considers India as a reliable defense partner that is capable of handling its strength and contributing to global security. India is developing more missile system, including a hypersonic variant. So this is not important. What is important is MTCR. So you have to remember, India became a member of MTCR in 2016. Now, what is MTCR? It is that is Missile Technology Control Regime. It is informal group of 35 countries and not legally binding. So you have to remember, it is not legally binding, not legally binding. India is 35th member in 2016, formed in 1987, at the initiative of G7 countries, So G7 countries are uh, Germany, France, Japan, Italy, USA, UK, and Canada. And what is the objective? To prevent proliferation of missile and UAV technology capable of carrying more than 500 kilo payload of for more than 300 kilometers. So it was formed to prevent proliferation, or manufacturing or making of missiles or UAV which can carry more than 500 kilogram load and can travel up to 300 kilometer, more than three. So this was a group to ensure that countries do not make such system missiles, or other weapons which can travel more than 300 kilometer. I can carry more than 500 kilo load. And when you become a part of MTCR, then you can do that. That your technology or your missile system can carry more than 500 kilo load and can go beyond you can develop technology that can travel beyond 300 kilometers. So India became part of MTCR in 2016. It is not a legal binding agreement, hence no punitive measures, because not legally binding, therefore no punitive measures if the countries do not fulfill, or countries do not follow this regime or the guidelines of this regime, MTCR. India was inducted into MTCR in 2016 as 35th member. So you have to remember about MTCR. Why MTCR? To prevent the proliferation of missile and UAV technology capable of carrying more than 500 kilogram of load for more than 300 kilometers. 35 country informal group. It is not legally binding. India became member of MTCR in 2016. So now another article is Ukraine crisis delay AK-200 trial. So India has signed a deal with Russia for AK-203 rifles. So due to the ongoing crisis in Ukraine, implementation of deal for 6.1 lakh AK-203 assault rifle signed with Russia last July has been delayed by at least. So India signed in 2021, India signed a deal with Russia for 6.1 lakh AK-203 assault rifles and with Russia. So India signed a deal last August for 70,000. India also signed a deal last year for 70,000 AK-103 assault tickets to be procured off the shelf, so that India will directly buy from Russia. So there are two missiles that you have to remember, that is AK-103 and AK-203, in case the question asks which of the following is brought by India. So over 6.5 lakh 6.1 lakh AK-203 assault rifles that cost over 5,000 crore will be manufactured by a joint. So in 103, this AK-103 will be directly procured from Russia, and now 203 will be manufactured in India. So it will be manufactured by a joint venture, Indo-Russian Rifle Private Limited at Korwa, Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. So you have to remember where it is. Korwa, that is in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. So IRRPL, Indian Russian Rifle Private Limited, was set up jointly by the erstwhile known as Ordnance Factory Board, now known as Advanced Weapon and Equipment India Limited, that is Advanced Weapon and Equipment India Limited, and Munitions India Limited of India, and Rosboron Export and Klarsenscope of Russia. So it is a joint venture of Advanced Weapon Equipments of India Limited and Munitions India Limited. This is from Indian side, and from Russia, Rosboron Export and Kalashnikov of Russia. So these are the four that are joint ventures between these four companies or these four entities for the manufacturing of AK-203 assault rifle, that is 6.1 lakh assault rifle that will be produced in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. So now another article is government drugstores to sell nutraceutical. So there is a government scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Bharti Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. Sorry, Bharti Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. So in which what happens? So aimed at providing accessible, standardized, and affordable generic medicine, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana Kendra, which currently offers a product of basket of 1451 drugs and 240 surgical instruments. So there are certain government uh the drug stores, government drug stores, or you can say Jan Aushadhi Kendra. So which currently offers 51 drugs and 240 surgical instruments, have now added nutraceuticals. So on these stores now nutraceuticals will also be available at these stores, such as protein powder and bar, malt-based food supplement, and immunity bar for its customers. So this is the new addition in Bharti Jan Aushadhi Kendra under the Pradhan Mantri Bharti Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. So now we'll see about this scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Bharti Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. So what is the objective of this scheme? So it is to ensure access to quality medicine first, access to quality medicine to the public, because in the private medical store the medicines are too high, or also so the prices at these stores are comparatively low compared to other stores. So quality medicine first. Second, extend coverage of quality generic medicine so as to reduce the out-of-pocket and expenditure on medicine, and thereby redefine the unit cost of treatment per person. So it will be available. So quality, and then at cheaper rate. Second, create awareness about generic medicine through education and publicity, so that quality is not synonymous with only high price. Second, third, that generic medicine, creating general creating awareness about generic medicine. So what is generic medicine? Suppose this is a branded medicine A, and then B, that is a generic medicine of A. So in branded, so in what happens? So in the both the A and B, the chemical composition of medicine will be same. However, this will be sold under a very big brand name. For example, you can say Pfizer, and this will be sold under the name of a different name that will be of generic manufacturer. So that's the only difference. The only difference is of brand name and not of the chemical composition. So in India, across the world, there is a problem that people think that this generic medicine have different chemical composition or less effective. That is not true. What is true, that generic medicine are not sold at the brand with the brand name of the original manufacturer, that is the manufacturer of A. However, it is sold under the name of another manufacturer, and but the chemical composition and the therapeutic value of the medicine remains the same. So you must know that for certain medicine that you go and ask for A medicine, and they will say that we have B or C or D medicine, but having the same chemical composition. So these are the generic medicine, and this is the original medicine. So creating awareness about generic medicine, or since this original medicine are sold with the brand value of a big company, therefore they are costlier, and because since they are costlier, therefore public people believe that because this is costlier, this is more effective and this is better quality. But generic medicine are sold at cheaper price because of the lack of brand name. Therefore people do believe that these do not have the required amount of chemical composition or are not that effective. So creating awareness about generic medicine. Now, a public program involving government, PSU, private sector, NGO, society, cooperative bodies, and other institutions. So it talks about collaboration also, and then creating demand for generic medicine by improving access to better healthcare through low treatment costs and easy availability of wherever needed in all the therapeutic category. So creating demand for generic medicine and then reducing the overall expenditure of the person on the healthcare, and making easily available wherever this is needed in across the country. So this is about Pradhan Mantri Bharati Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. So now we'll talk about this article, that is Chilika Lake are to be off limits for motorboat. So what happened? So the Odisha government. So first thing you have to remember, Chilika Lake is in the Odisha. It is a Ramsar site also. It is a Ramsar site also. Ramsar site you have to remember. So Odisha government has proposed to ban the movement of mechanized fishing boats. So it has proposed to ban movement of mechanized fishing boat in the Mangala Jodi area of Chilika Lake. Where? In the Mangala Jodi area of Chilika Lake. So Mangala Jodi area. Chilika Lake, an important haunt of migratory birds. So where lot of migratory birds come. Therefore, in order to preserve the ecosystem and to ensure that they are not disturbed, this mechanized water board are to be banned in this Mangala Jodi area of Chilika Lake to provide the winged guest and undisturbed ecosystem for 6 months every year. So Mangala Jodi is recognized as the globally important for conservation. So this is an important Mangala Jodi is an important place for the conservation of birds. Migratory birds arrive there for roosting. Now about Chilika Lake. So you have to remember a fact about Chilika Lake, that is the largest brackish water lake. Largest brackish water lake and wintering ground of birds in the Indian subcontinent. So largest brackish water lake in the Indian subcontinent. Chilika Lake is also Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. So Chilika Lake also Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. Now, in 1981, Chilika Lake was designated as the first Indian wetland of international importance under Ramsar Convention. So under Ramsar Convention, there are list of wetlands that are of international importance. And when a particular wetland is inserted, or you can add it in the Ramsar Convention, government needs to take effort to ensure its conservation and survival for the long term, and to ensure that there is no deterioration in the quality of the wetland, and to conserve for the future use. So it was the first site in India that was added into the Ramsar list. And the major attraction at Chilika Lake is Irrawaddy dolphins. So you have to remember, Irrawaddy dolphins are majorly found in the Chilika Lake, which are often spotted off Satapta Island. The large Nalabana Island, that there is a large Nalabana Island in the Chilika Lake covering about 16 square kilometer lagoon, was declared a bird sanctuary. So Nalabana Island is a bird sanctuary in the Chilika Lake in Odisha. Now, Kalijai Temple. So there is a temple that is located in the Chilika Lake, that is Kalijai Temple. Chilika Lake hosts bird migrating from thousands of miles away from the Caspian Sea, Lake Baikal, Aral Sea, remote parts of Russia, Kyrgyz State of Mongolia, Central and South Asia. So lots of migratory birds come into the Chilika Lake, and therefore it becomes important to for the Odisha government to take steps to provide safe haven, to provide safe ecosystem for this migratory bird and conservation. And because the conservation of wildlife is also important for the survival of the human being, because these small insects play important role in the pollination of the crop, and therefore which ensures our food and food. Therefore, the conservation of biodiversity becomes very important for the human survival. So we have discussed about the Chilika Lake. It is the largest brackish water lake in the India. And second, then we have discussed it is the Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. And then it was designated as the first Ramsar site in the year 1981. Then we have discussed about Kaliji Temple. We have discussed about Nalabala Island, and then we have discussed about Irrawaddy Dolphin. So now the last article is the functioning of ISS after its sanction, that is International Space Station. So first thing here you have to remember, the first piece of equipment of ISS was launched in 1998. So it was first launched in the year 1998, and then other parts were launched into the other parts and modules were added and assembled in space at different times. So this is first thing you have to remember. And then that when it was launched in the year 1998, and the first crew arrived on the ISS in 2000. First crew in the year 2000, and since then it has always been manned by astronauts. So why this positive news? So first thing you have to remember, ISS is built with the cooperation of scientists from 5 international space agencies, that is from USA, that is NASA from Roscosmos of Russia, JAXA of Japan, Canadian Space Agency of Canada, and European Space Agency of European Union. So each agency has a role to play and shape in the upkeep of ice. So all these five agencies have a role to ensure that the ICs continue to function, continue to work. So both in terms of expense and effort, it is not a feat that a single country can support. So Russia's part in collaboration is the module responsible for making course correction. So Russia's part now is the course correction. Course correction, for example, this moves like this. So Russia's part is to ensure that it follows a certain or certain path, certain orbital path. So therefore, Russia's collaboration or Russia's function is to ensure its course correction. They also ferry astronaut. The Russia also ferry astronaut to ISIS from Earth and back. So Russia is also ferrying astronaut from Earth and then bringing them back to the Earth. So until SpaceX Dragon spacecraft came into the picture, the Russian spacecraft were the only. So now SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, that is a private agency, private agency in the USA. So before coming off SpaceX Dragon spacecraft, Russia's spacecraft were the only way of reaching ISIS. So Russia has the monopoly, or Russia has the technology to send astronauts to the ISIS and bring back. Now this Dragon of SpaceX also has that capability. So we have discussed this. So why does orbit of the, so since Russia, because we are talking about Russia has a role, and now Russia has that countries have imposed sanction. Therefore, we need to know why Russia's role becomes important and what happens if Russia backs up. So why does the orbit of ISIS? So Russia's role is to correct the orbit of the ISIS. So why does the orbit of ISIS needs to be corrected? So why it needs to correct it? So first, due to its enormous weight and the ensuing drag. So because of the ensuing drag because of the gravity and all, and because of its enormous weight, the ISIS tend to sink from its orbit at a height of about 250 miles above Earth. It has to be pushed up to its original line of motion every now. So it has to be pushed because there is a deviation, and because of its high weight, it deviates from its path that it has to take, and because of that, ISIS, that is Russia, has a role to play wherein it has to be pushed, wherein ISIS has to push up to its original line of motion every now and then. So in order to push to its original line every now and then, Russia, the country, Russian Space Agency, that is Roscosmos, has a role to play in ensuring that it follows its original line of motion. So approximately once a month, this effort has to be made. So approximately once a month, this effort to be made. So other reasons for altering the path of ISIS, there is one more reason, is to avoid its collision. So for example, this is rotating like, and then there is a space debris because of the satellites that are not functioning, because of the space aircraft, because of the air spacecraft are there. So because of the debris and aircraft, so there is a possibility of collision of this ISIS and other particles that are there in the atmosphere. So in order to that, there is also need for altering the path, which can avoid the damage, which can avoid damaging the station, that is International Space Station. So these maneuvers need to be done as and when the debris is encountered. So this one, that is for original line of motion, it has done approximately every month, and this for the protection from the collision, this has to be done when there is a possibility of collision. So what happens? So what if Russia backs out? So what happens if Russia backs out? Therefore, then who will ensure its course correction, and who will prevent its collision with the space debris? So if Russia back out of the effort, are there spacecraft that can substitute? So yes. So it says there are two spacecraft. There are two possibility now. So that is SpaceX Dragon module. Dragon module can do that, and Boeing's Starliner can dock with the International Space Station. Starliner also has the capacity to carry, say, 10 tons of fuel. So yes, if Russia backs out, there is a possibility of that using SpaceX Dragon or Boeing's Starlink to dock with the International Space Station and to perform the role that Russia's space agency was performing. So now we'll discuss 5 questions. Question number 1. Which of the missile was accidentally fired by India into Pakistan on March 9th? The options are BrahMos, Agni, Prithvi, none of the above. The correct option is BrahMos. Question number 2. Chilika Lake is located in which state? The option Karnataka, Rajasthan, Odisha, none of the above. The correct option is Odisha. Question number 3. Which of the following was not part of launch of International Space Station? Your option are Russia, India, USA, Canada. The correct option is India. Question number 4, India became a member of Missile Technology Control Regime in which year? Your options are 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. And the correct option is 2016. India was the 35th member. Question number 4. Question number 5, last question, that AK-203 assault rifle will be manufactured in which of the following states? Your option are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and Haryana. The correct option is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh in Amethi. Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. So that's all for this session. Stay logical with Vidhigya, your best pal in CLAT Preps.